Good evening. Good evening. I'm your
Good evening. We're having some technical difficulties, but what's happening, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Motivational Mondays. Your host, Barbara Ellzey, will be back. I'm hijacking the show for a moment, but we have a good one for you. Hold on one second. I think she's back. Hey, friend, what's going on? What's happening?
I hope Kelly Gage is not on here because I be pushing buttons. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Barbara Ellzey. Welcome to Motivational Mondays. And I appreciate you so much. I was like, oh my God, I'm gone. Okay. Hey, thank you so
good.
much. It's all good. All right. You know me and buttons. So I hope Kelly is not on here. Anyway, huh?
I said we finna roll. I'm finna roll the credits. Credits is finna roll.
I'm like, I took myself out again. All right. All right, let's get to it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Motivational Mondays. I'm so glad that you're here. Before we get started, let's just go ahead and hit that share button and invite your friends, your neighbors, your cousins, because we have a great show again tonight. Come on and like, share, and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. So tonight, we're glad that you're here again. This is Motivational Monday. Oh, I got to keep my hands off the buttons. But anyway, I'm so glad that you guys have tuned in with us again. Last week was so very inspiring. We had Tiffany Monique on the show, and she spoke about her family and the 11 children that she had. That was, wow, I'm still thinking about that and the way that she is raising her children, homeschooling them, raising them in the fear and the admonition of the Lord. All of her children are being raised as Christians and gospel singers and praise dancers. And so I just wanted to give another shout out to her because her and her husband, Jamie, is doing a phenomenal job with their children. But tonight we have even equally special a show that I definitely am interested in. And that's the good thing about Motivational Mondays, because I get a chance to learn about some really great things that women are doing here in the city of Chicago. So tonight we're talking about nannies. We're talking to two professional women who are nannies. And so we're going to get into that. But let me just give you a little history about nannies. This is a profession that has been around for centuries. The existence of nanny is not a new concept. This job is likely as old as humanity itself. Has been around for centuries. The nannies, is unlike maids. They report to the house ladies. They more like tutors and educators for the children. So tonight we're going to get a chance to speak to two nannies and let them share their experiences as being nannies. So tonight my guests are none other than Loralyn Jones. I'm so glad that she is here. Loralyn Hunt Jones. She is the owner of Now I Know My ABCs Learning Center. She has 20 plus years of experience as a nanny. And we also have tonight with us Jermerica Goolsby. She is the creator of the Nanny Experts, a Facebook community unifying and educating parents, nannies, sitters, and child educators that will help each on the journey in childcare. She has 10 plus years of proven expertise in childcare, served 8 years as a household manager for high profile families in the Chicagoland area. My tongue is twisting up here. But anyway, would you please welcome these two phenomenal women, Loralyn and Jermerica. I'm so glad that you guys are here with us. My tongue was tying up. I get the punching buttons and girl took my own self out the show. Lord have mercy. I'm going to get it together. But I am glad that you all are here tonight. And this is so very interesting as to what you all are doing. And we just want to have that dialogue and share with the audience the things that you guys has been doing. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, you guys make number 3 nannies that I know. I never known any other nannies, but a young lady at the church, her name was Keturah Moss. She was a nanny, and I thought that was so interesting. So now I know 3. But before then, I didn't even know people were still doing nannies, that a profession of a nanny. So I just want to start with asking you guys some questions, right? So Loralyn, I'm gonna begin with you. How did you get started in this career, and how long have you been doing this?
I have been a nanny for 25 years. Uh,
25.
25 years, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at the stock market. I was a runner at the stock market before I became a nanny, and I got hit by a cab. And while I was at home recuperating, I was keeping some of my relatives' kids, and just the sound, I heard them in the pool, and just the sound of laughter was just so refreshing to me. And
Uh-huh.
I knew then, I absolutely knew then, I said, I'm going to take care of kids. I'm just going to take care of kids. And so from there, I moved on the north side, and I was working in a kids' clothing store.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls who was working in a kids' clothing store with me told me she was leaving and that she was going to become a nanny, and she gave me the information. And I didn't get into it right away. Uh, what
Mm-hmm.
I what I did was I started some of the members of my church. I started keeping their kids,
Mm-hmm.
and which was actually building my resume. I didn't know it at the time, but it was actually building because I was working for three different families, and
Mm-hmm.
I was keeping their children. And when it came time for me to launch out of doing it in the home, then I became a nanny. But those three families gave me the resume uh, to become a nanny.
To become a nanny. We're going to talk about that. And then we have Jermerica. Jermerica, how did you get started in this profession? You've been doing this for 10 plus years.
Right. So I started in high school babysitting my cousin
Mm-hmm.
or my godmother. She owns a daycare center in home, and I would go after school to her house to help her, just do the afternoon snacks.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like 2014, I believe. No, it was 2010, actually. It was
Okay.
2010.
Okay.
And I would help her just, the exit of the kids from the daycare, getting their backpacks ready. It was small things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my auntie, Loralyn, actually,
Yeah.
she recommended that I got into nannying for private families
Oh, wow.
in 2014. And I loved it ever since.
Wow. What a blessing. That is such a blessing. So I'm gonna ask this one question, but I want both of you guys to answer it. And I'm gonna start with you, Laurelyn. So what is the difference between a nanny and a babysitter? What's the difference?
Well, um, I can I make a statement really quick before I answer that? You
Sure.
were saying earlier that nannies have been around for like a long time,
Yeah.
and I remember that I didn't necessarily like the stigma of being called a nanny because
Uh-huh.
I'm a black girl. For the most part, Polish women have the
Yep.
monopoly
Mm-hmm.
on nannies, and
Okay.
so I didn't like the stigma of being called a nanny because it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're taking care of a white man's kid. And so,
Mm-hmm.
but what the Lord showed me was that Moses' mother was the very first nanny.
Yep.
Yep.
When
It
she
goes back
spent
to
that,
Bible
it
days.
goes all the way. There is nothing we do, nothing we say that cannot be found in the Word of God.
That's right.
Moses' mother, Moses' mother was the very first nanny. She was
Mm-hmm.
being and brought into the king's house to take care of her own child. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is the first reference for me as a nanny. And
That's right.
so the difference to me is, and I have said this for years, the difference to
Mm-hmm.
me between a babysitter and a nanny is the love you have for the children.
Okay.
And I think when you go into a home and you're just a babysitter comes when the family need them. And the family don't always need a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a nanny, the young girl that I'm a nanny for now, and I've been there 11 years, she calls me her second mother. And I think that that's the difference between a babysitter and a nanny. You
Mm-hmm.
become that child's second mother.
I
That can only be love.
mm-hmm. I looked it up and I was like, I researched it. So I was like, what is the difference between a babysitter and a nanny? And so one of the explanations was a nanny is like a fixture there, whereas that a babysitter is short term.
That's it.
And you see, a babysitter is short term, but a nanny is a fixture. And the nanny really like get engrossed into what they're doing. It can be a manager of the house. And we're going to talk about that, Jermerica, because you mentioned that being a manager of the entire house, where the babysitter is just caring for the baby. Is that correct, Jermerica, in terms of that? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So when you say that you're a manager of the house, and both of you guys, because you are managing the house, you have the children and things, but you start off with the children, and what does it do? Just spiral into other things, Jermerica?
No, not for me, it doesn't. Because when I'm in the interview, I strategically ask certain questions to see what my job duty is. Now, I am flexible. Like, for instance, when the pandemic happened, I never did laundry. I never did like cleaning of the house. But when the pandemic hit, I had to not stay in their house, but do the things that they would have like their cleaning people to do. So, I always try to, have that communication very early in our relationship. So it doesn't, they're adding things at me and it's like, oh, I didn't agree to do this, so they know exactly what it is that, or I know exactly what my job is and I can prepare for that.
Okay. And what about you, Loralyn? Do you approach it the same way to say, you want to know exactly what you're doing, or do you do additional things because it's just there to do?
Well, I think life situations changes. I was working for a family right before the family that I'm working for now, and some of the things that was in my job description, I had to then start to do because she lost her job. And so while even though she was at home, she was still looking for another position. But I also believe that your level of commitment and your level of responsibility does grow the more they trust you.
Okay.
Because when you can start off as a nanny and they don't even want you driving their car, but the more they trust you, like I started off with a family and I didn't drive their car right away. And so then at some point I started driving the car. And at another point, I had to I did grocery shopping. So they trusted me with their credit card. And so I think the more you become, the more they can trust you. Sometimes the greater your responsibility is, but it pays off at the end at Christmas time for that Christmas bonus.
What's that? Pays off at the end.
Pays off at the end.
Wow. Yeah. So when you're going into your interview, are you negotiating your salary is what I want to say, because I know nannies, the way you all get compensated, do you negotiate your salary or do they have a flat rate? This is what we're going to pay. Is there any wiggle room in the negotiation? And how has that been good for you? Has that been good, or did you have to grow into that?
Well, what was the question for?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With the family that I am with now, and even the other families, not to, the Word of God says, "Let another man praise you, and not yourself."
Yeah. But we want to hear it tonight, though. I want to hear it tonight. I may become a nanny.
But I came so highly recommended with references, that I was able to set my own salary. And because this was their first child and they knew I had years and years of experience, I was able to set my own salary. And so, they sent me an email, tell me what, I work for 2 lawyers, tell me what you want, and whatever you want, we will give it to you. Well, I'm not crazy. I'm not I'm not going to say, okay, well, I want $40 an hour,
Sure.
and I'm working 10, 11 hours a day. And so I told them what I wanted in my salary, and they agreed to it. And then not only agreed to that, not only, and I couldn't believe it that they agreed to it, but not only did they agree to it, but they gave me a $25,000 credit card. It's in my name, and I've had it for 11 years. $25,000. And they're out of town now. They're on vacation now, and I can still use this credit card for anything I want. Anything I want. I don't put gas in my car. I eat. They pay for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
So is this card, is this $25,000 card? Is this a household card that you can buy for food?
It's when I go and do their grocery shopping, but it's also for but it's also for whatever I want.
Wow.
Whatever I want. They'll tell me, just go and get it.
That came over time.
It came after what, 15 years, but it's with the family that I'm with now, but that came within a month after me being there, because I had so many different references. Let me say this: when a family can trust you with their child, when a family can trust you with their baby, and my boss had 2 miscarriages first, then she had Ava, and then she had 2 more miscarriages. When they can trust you with their children, their prized possession, there is no amount of money that is too much for you.
Wow.
And they're paying you because they can trust you, and they're paying you because you become a part of their family.
So this profession, it really has to be built upon trust, because after all, right? After all, they're letting you in their house, they're allowing you with their child and things of that sort. So, Jermerica, let me ask you this. What is an ordinary day? What type? First of all, let me digress. So do you guys get benefits? Do you get benefits? You do get benefits?
Yes. Yeah,
you get health benefits? Jermerica, you get health benefits?
Well, they pay taxes, but I thought she was talking about like incentive benefits, like those, like, but no, they pay into taxes and, Medicare and stuff like that, not in health insurance. I have that through my husband's job.
Through your husband. And so Loralyn, how about you? Is that the same thing? You have it through your husband?
I have medical. They pay for medical. They pay Social Security. They pay unemployment. They pretty much pay for everything.
They pay for everything. And your 2 clients, they're both attorneys, right?
Yeah, the family that I work for, both lawyers. Yes.
So you guys work for one family at a time, correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, one family at a time. Okay, and so normally, before I get to the question I was going to ask you, Jermerica, I want to throw this out at both of you guys. So normally when you get with one family, do they say how long you're going to be with them till the child gets to this age, or how does that work? And how many families have you been with? How many families have you been with so far, Jermerica?
I never thought about that. I think I've worked for a total of 4 families.
Of 4 families.
4, yep.
And so did the children have to get to a certain age, or what happened that you had to?
So one family that I was with, when their child was ready to go on to preschool, that's when I made my exit, because their schedule was, they could do pickups and drop-offs and different things like that. And I tried to stay with them, but they were like, we could do all the other errands. It's not a big deal. So preschool for me, it was,
Okay. So when you're going to a family, how old are the children? Are they infants, or are they toddlers? What are they?
So a couple of my jobs were infants. Now I'm working with school-age children. And I actually asked my boss this the other day, just for job security purposes. I was like, do you know, because my boys, they're getting older and they're like fending for themselves. They don't really need me. So I was like, do you know when you're, gonna, like get rid of me in a way, like, and she was like, oh no, we need you. She's like, we need you for as long as you can be with us. And so
Okay.
that was refreshing to know, because I've always, it's, maybe 3 or 4 years and then I'm on to the next family.
Okay. And Loralyn, you've been doing this for 20 years. How many families have you been with? And what broke, the relationship?
I have been with probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's probably been 10 families. I've been with 10 different families.
Okay.
Majority of the time, what broke the relationship, they moved out of town.
Okay. They
I
moved
had a
out of town.
family, yeah, I had a family that moved to Boston. I had a family that moved to San Francisco. I had a family move to Dallas. I had a family move to Indiana. So majority of the time, it's been that they moved out of town. Now
They
with
moved.
Ava,
Hmm.
yeah, with Ava, Ava will be my last, and actually Ava will be. I will be done with Ava in August. God has,
Really?
yeah, God has favored my husband and I, and we're buying a home in Naperville, and I'm going to open my own home daycare. So in
Good for
August,
you.
I haven't told
Yeah.
Ava yet.
Uh-huh.
Ava
Good for
doesn't.
you.
Ava doesn't know. Her parents know, and they were pretty sad. But you have to know when it's time to go, because you can stay longer than you need to stay, and then the relationship becomes toxic, and
Oh,
you don't ever want to stay in a place longer. Like I know that this is the right time for me to
okay.
go.
How old
So
is Ava? How old is Ava?
Ava is 11, and in August I will be with her 11 years. I started when she was 2 months.
Oh my goodness. So this is the one that calls you her second mom.
Yeah, she calls me her second mom.
And so in doing this profession, the children get attached to you all, and you all get
Let me
attached to them.
let me tell you something. With the family that I'm with right now, it was so funny. The other day I didn't go to work, and they were trying to get Ava to do something, and it was time
Hmm.
for Ava to go to school. And her mother called me. I can't get Ava to do X, Y, and Z. What do you think I should do? And I'm like, at home on my couch. What do you mean? What do you think I should do?
Put Ava on the
And
phone.
I, I just told her, I said, leave her alone. I said, you never want to send a child out to school angry and frustrated. It just messes up their whole day. So I said, just leave her
Wow.
alone. I'll deal with it when I get there. And so uh, they do. They become a part of you. Her mom told me the other day they were all sitting on the couch watching TV, and Ava said, "Boy, I sure do wish Laura was here." And they were like,
Uh-uh.
"What?" She said, "What are
But
we
see,
stopping?" But you just become a
yeah,
part of the family.
you
It's
become a
it's
part of
been
the
11
family.
years. Yeah. So you do.
Jermerica, what does an ordinary day looks like? What time does your day start? And what time does it start and end?
Um, Starts about 5:30 for me. And that's me getting up, getting ready, to head out the door to make it
Hmm.
there at 6:45. Um, but it's literally, like I said, waking up early, getting to work, getting the kids up, feeding them breakfast, getting them to the school, picking them up from school. But while they're in school, I'm literally, like I said, these duties were added
Hmm.
to my responsibilities, like the laundry and
Hmm.
cleaning more rooms in the house. So I'm
Hmm.
doing that. I am, what else am I doing? I'm meal prepping. So I have
Okay.
to, uh, I don't know if you guys heard of Instacart, but I order like the groceries and get it delivered because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want me in the grocery stores like I once were. So I just do order everything online. And then I, have to stay around the house, get the delivery, and then, put up the groceries, meal prep, cook the food that I just purchased, and then head to go pick up the boys from school.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, literally, I'm just taking them to their extra curriculum activities, which is swim.
So let me ask you this. So you say you meal prep. So are you feeding the children? Are you making meals for the whole family?
The whole family.
The
The
whole
whole
family.
family. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yep.
what does it look like in terms of holidays and graduations? Are you all required to go to graduations if you want to? Are you invited? Are you invited to things of the family or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Birthdays, graduations. What else? Yeah. Well, one thing I will say, I typically ask, is,
Okay.
can I come? Is this, are you guys doing something, intimate? Because I never want to overstep my boundaries as
Sure.
their caregiver. They might want to have some alone time with their kids. So I never try
Mhm.
to overstep. So I
Okay.
always ask.
You always ask. And what
Always.
about you, Loralyn? You've been around for 20 years. I know you've been to birthdays and graduations. And do y'all go to
And
their soccer games and all this stuff?
Hmm.
Yep. Wow, that's cool. This is
I
really cool.
no, I go to everything, and because I've been doing it for like 25 years, the families know. They know to save me a ticket. I went to San
Oh.
Francisco. I went to San Francisco for uh, a graduation, and they knew
Hmm.
save me a ticket, because I'm coming. And I was so proud of her.
Oh.
And just like you were saying earlier, you just become a part of the family because one of the little girls, and I tell this story with her permission. One of the first little girls I was a nanny for, I got a text at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And see, this is how these the job is not about the money. There are wonderful perks to it, but when you're on
Hmm.
assignment from God,
Yeah.
um, her mother sent me a text and said, "Please pray for Taylor." Taylor's boyfriend got her strung out on laughing gas, and she was getting high off of laughing gas.
Okay.
And she wanted me to come to San Francisco to pray with them. And she confessed that she was an atheist, but she wanted some prayer. She wanted prayer that day. But all of just is when you become a part of the family, and it's not in words, because sometimes they'll say, "Oh, you're such a part of our family, and you're such a part of your family," but you don't get an invitation to anything. You're wondering like,
Hmm.
okay, am I really a
Okay.
part of the family? So, but when you get an invitation, or you didn't even ask, like I got a card from a little boy I used to take care of. His name is Quincy. Both parents are lawyers. This boy is graduating, and he's going on a full scholarship to New York University, whichever one of the universities with the
Awesome.
music. He's going to be a
Oh,
music
yeah.
producer.
Oh, my
Oh,
He's going to be a
God.
music. He has, which is why they named him Quincy, because the parents love Quincy Jones. And
Okay.
so now he just graduated Oak Park River Forest High School, and
Okay.
I got something in the mail. They don't even ask me if I want to go. They just send me the stuff because they know I'm
Okay.
going to. If I can show up, I'm going to show up, and they
Okay.
know it. So, and that's
Well,
just
that's
part of being a part of the family.
a part of the family. So that was another question I was going to ask you all. How, Jermerica, how do you all find the families and what area? I mean, do you guys have a specific area that you would provide this service?
yes, because
You said yes.
yes, because I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna say. Um, that's a curveball there. Because
Mhm.
to have a nanny or a caregiver in your home, that's a luxury. So you have to have a certain amount of money that you know have, and you have to, and I'm trying to think of how to say it, but you have to. It's a certain demographic
Sure.
where they have to have nannies because their jobs are so demanding.
Sure.
So what was your question again? I was so deep in thought there.
I was asking, where do you guys find the families and what
Hmm.
area, what demographic? And so you're right on
Okay.
point. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my aunt, she actually, the first job that I had as a nanny was in Oak Park. Now, Oak Park is like nanny central. It's a lot of nannies in Oak Park. It's a lot of daycare and in-home daycare. So not nanny, but Oak Park is a hot spot for nannies. I'm currently working in the South Loop, and it's a lot of nannies there as well. So I think it's more in the greater Chicago area, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
like on the north side or the northwest suburb,
Yes.
where I find or see the most nannies at. But that's because I'm in those areas.
Okay. And Loralyn, what about yourself? Is it the same areas for you, Oak Park and the western suburbs?
Well, I've worked from anywhere from Beverly, Evergreen Park, Beverly, all the way to
Okay.
Evanston.
Oh, to
And
Evanston.
so, um,
Yes.
I yeah, my the the family that I'm with now, someone someone referred me to them from someone in Evanston. So word
Okay.
of mouth is really it's just a wonderful thing.
It is the
It's
best
priceless.
advertisement. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
it is that's advertisement, and she knew that
Yeah.
the family was moving to Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and my boss now was one of her best friends, and so she
Okay.
referred me to my. I didn't really have to interview, but I do believe demographics come into play. I do believe you should have I think any person who's looking for a nanny, majority of the time they can afford one.
They can't afford it. Yes.
Um,
And
they
as
can afford
Jermerica
it,
said,
but
and the
then too.
jobs are, I was saying, and as Jermerica said, they jobs are demanding, that they need a nanny
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They
So,
need a
mm-hmm.
nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say they need a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
But all the time, and I make very good money. I make more money than some school principals. Um, and but I don't
Whoa.
think all the time.
School
I
principals?
don't think.
That's six figures.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. But
Wow.
I don't think all the time it should be about the money. Because there were times I took a pay cut as a nanny, but what I was doing was building my resume.
You build your
And so
resume.
now I can go back to these families when it's time for me to open my home day and give me a wonderful resume.
Wow.
Because I stayed with it when the family went through a hardship. I didn't cut out on them because they lost some money. I stayed there and
Right.
remained faithful, took a pay cut, and didn't treat their kids any less because I was making less money. But it's all
Exactly.
about me. I need to build a resume when I move to Naperville so that they can refer me and go on my website and say, hey, she the real deal.
Wow. You know what?
So
I really do. I think you guys are phenomenal and what you're doing and stuff. And this is just really, wow, open up, because the thing about it, yes, it is, Pam. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. And so I want to ask this question, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, Laurel, and how you handle it in terms of, you taking a pay cut and stuff like that. Has there been any challenges? Have you guys had any challenges in this work? And how did you handle those situations? How did you handle it, Jermerica? Have you had any challenges, first of all?
Yes. I had a challenge where I worked for a family in Lincoln Park. I actually took the job because I was in between jobs
Mm-hmm.
at the time, and I took it, and it was paying less than minimum wage. And typically, I would not do that. But like she said earlier, you want to build your resume. and make a good impression on people. And that's what it was. It was like, I have to humble myself to say like, okay, yes, this is less than minimum wage. However, this family needs you and they're in a dire situation. So if you come in and you help and you're a blessing to them, then they will definitely reciprocate or at least give you a reference to add to your resume to go on to your next family. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
So yes, it has been challenges. But right now, well, when I first started with the family that I'm with now, I had a lot of challenges because the boys, their nanny that was there before me, she was there for 8 years.
Oh,
and
yes.
so they were acclimated to how she did things, and I came in and I just shook the whole system, but I had to learn to adapt to how they did things, and I had to incorporate myself over time. So that was a huge challenge.
Okay. And that's good. I'm glad that you said that, because someone who has been there for a long time and then a new nanny come in, they'd be like, oh, Barbara didn't do it this way. Well, we're doing it this way now. Yeah. And you know, and that humility and learning how to adapt, and not only adapt, but implement some of the things that she was doing builds the relationship as well. Wow. So all of that come into play, that customer service, that conflict resolution, you know, all of that comes into play. How about you, Loralyn? Any challenges, and how did you handle the situations?
I had quite a few challenges. I had one challenge that I just can't talk about.
Okay.
I had another challenge, and I was the first nanny, and the parents were going through a divorce, and the kids were acting out, and the oldest girl, it seemed like every single week she would make up a story, and she would tell her parents that I was doing something to her. And you know, she did this, or she said this, and at some point I had to just have the whole, I think open communication is so important when you work in someone's home. I have to respect your home, but you also have to respect my profession. And you hired me because you trust me, and I think open communication is honest. It's needful. And so I said to her, I said, you know what? You know what? Either you're going to trust me and you're going to believe me, because her daughter had a history of lying.
Okay.
But you know, in our profession, a child lie on you, you could go to jail.
That's crucial. Yeah, that's very crucial. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to the point where, okay, I'm gonna put some cameras in this house. You lied on me. And and I told her, I said, either you're gonna trust me or let me go. I said, because I'm not gonna be involved in a toxic situation, and I'm not gonna be living under a microscope. So either trust me or let me go.
Wow.
And at some point she realized her daughter was acting out because her parents were going through a divorce. And that was her way of lashing out.
How old was she, the young lady?
Yeah.
How old was she?
About 6 years. I think she was about 6 years old.
Okay. Yeah. A child lashing out. Okay. Wow. That is awesome. Yeah. So listen, so you guys have, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Loralyn, you were saying something?
No, I just said she was lashing out because she was close to her dad, and her dad didn't want to pay me, but her mom did. And so she was mad that her mom was divorcing her dad. So
oh wow.
It worked out.
She
was the flower girl in my wedding.
Yeah, okay, so you get real close with them. Wow. So both of you ladies have done extraordinary things with your profession. You're learning to adjust, and you know it must be quite a good profession, because you both has been part of it for years. And as you said, Loralyn, you're getting ready to retire in essence, and open your own business. And so that's what I want to talk about now. The businesses that you all are opening. I know you guys have shared some of those, but I want you to kind of share those with the audience, the businesses that you're getting ready to launch. Jermerica, I know you have the Nanny Network. Is that what it's called? The Nanny Network?
The Nanny Experts.
The Nanny Experts. Okay. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Nanny Experts, and how can someone become involved with the Nanny Experts? Or is this for those who are already nannies right now, and you guys kind of get together and share ideas and things of that sort?
Yeah, you broke out. Can you repeat that? On my end, everybody went out.
I broke out. I was saying, is the Nanny Experts, is that open for anyone who wants to become a nanny, or is this a group of nannies who are already nannies, who get together and they share knowledge and experiences and trainings and things of that sort?
So it's a little bit of both. Those who are already nannies and those who are inquiring about becoming a nanny, but not just nannies or child caregivers. It's also for teachers and for parents, because I've realized in this line, there's a gap between the nannies and the teachers. And sometimes there's a gap between the parent and the teachers. So sometimes I will find myself in situations where I would have to, communicate certain things to the teacher and to the family. And I wanted to create a group where we could bring awareness to actually families who have nannies and might face some situations or problems. So this is not a group that we're just coming together and talking about the bad experiences. We're actually giving solutions to some of the problems that we may face on our journey. And that's what I love so much about it. When I got the idea, I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus, because I knew I was struggling. I was like, maybe someone else is struggling with this same issue. And when I started it, now it's over 232 members. And so now it's like,
wow,
I'm just going to keep going and doing it. But I am launching something really, really huge April of 2022. So just be looking out for that. I'm not going to mention it, but it's something huge coming in 2022.
Okay. And so if someone wants to become a part of the Nanny Experts, I keep want to say network, but it's experts.
Yes.
Okay. If they want to become a part of Nanny Experts, how can they reach you?
They can reach me on Instagram at the Nanny Experts 1 or on Facebook. It's a private page, so you do have to answer a few questions before joining the group because there are sensitive information being shared. But we're not breaking that non-disclosure agreement within our contract, so we are in order. And then the Facebook page name is The Nanny Experts with no number 1, but the Instagram is with a number 1 at the end.
Okay. Awesome. And Gerald, Loralyn, I'm putting y'all names together. Here we go. Geraldine. I'm putting y'all together. So Loralyn, so you're getting ready to move to Naperville in a new house.
Yes.
Wonderful. That is so wonderful. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. And then you're opening your home daycare. Is that correct? The ABCs? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Loralyn?
Yes. Now I know my ABC. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Okay. I can hear you now.
Yes. Now I know my ABC's learning. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Now I know my ABC's learning center. And because I feel like I have, I don't feel like I'm a professional nanny. I don't feel like I'm an expert. I will never feel like that until all of my kids have graduated college. All the kids that I've been a nanny for have graduated college. And so at some point I'll get there. But I do feel like that the time as a nanny is over in my life. I want to, and because a lot of times with a nanny, not to downplay it because I've done it for 25 years.
Yes.
But I want to impact this next generation. And so I want to instill more learning into children. I want to go from, for lack of a better term, I want to go from changing diapers to curriculum.
Okay.
And that's what I want.
Okay.
And we've all changed diapers, and that was part of our profession. And
Okay.
But I want to deal with the curriculum of children, and I had a deeper determination to do that in this pandemic year, because for Ava, we were stuck in my boss' basement for the whole year, and it was my responsibility to make sure that she was making A's. And when I tell you, I got her grades the other day right before school ended, and she made straight A's with the exception of one B plus, which could have been an A, but she's just lazy and didn't want to put the work in. Didn't want to put the work in. So
Okay.
I want to focus more on education.
On the education side. Let me ask you ladies a questions before I let you go, because I know today is Loralyn's birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
I know today is your birthday, and I know hubby wants to celebrate you, so I don't want to hold you guys too long. But
he just came in and dropped the card on the table. It looked pretty thick, so I think it's some money in there.
Oh, so we're gonna wrap this up. No. Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you, if you was to interview an individual to be a nanny, what are the characteristics? What are you looking for? Someone has no experience, but what are you looking for when you're interviewing them? And Jermerica, I'm gonna start with you. What are you looking for?
I would look for someone who is energetic.
Okay.
And because in the interview, we don't know if they're trustworthy yet, they still have to show themselves approved.
Mm-hmm.
But I would look for someone that's energetic, professional, and how they carry themselves. Those will be like the top things for me. Because when I say energetic, I mean fun. If you are, now we're talking about on the resume, or are we talking about just the feel of the person?
Just to feel them in person. Yeah, I mean, the resume, that's fine, but in person, yeah.
Okay, Kevin. I see you. But I like I said, fun, energetic, the way that they carry themselves, because you can't be mean and be a nanny. Like that's why I hold that at number one, being energetic, because you can be mean being a nanny. Like, come on, these are kids, these are innocent people that you're working with. So you have to be energetic and show some type of active, you have to be bubbly.
You have to be bubbly.
Those are some of the things that I would look for in a nanny.
Okay. And Loralyn?
I would look for a person who I felt was genuine. Because you can come into an interview, you can come. I know a whole bunch of people who are taking care of kids and could care less about the children, and have told me that they don't care about the children.
Oh my!
So you can come into an interview. You can come into an interview and not be genuine. And so I think that is one of the things I would look for as it relates to their personality, is that they're genuine, and that they're honest, and that they're teachable. Because sometimes as a nanny, you can come in and feel like, I've been doing this. I had been doing it for 16 years when I met Ava. Well, I had to forget everything that I knew, and I had to do it Jason and Carrie's way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you have to have a teachable spirit, because you cannot walk into someone's home who's writing your check every week or every 2 weeks and tell them, well, that's not how I was doing it.
Nope.
Okay.
You have to have you have to have a teachable spirit when you're coming into someone else's home.
Agreed.
That is awesome. And and just
a lot of,
I'm sorry, you broke up, Loralyn.
No, I was saying, even though a lot of the things that I was told to do, I knew wasn't right, but I had to do it their way. So I had to take down and become teachable, until years later. Now the house is all Loralyn now. They just do it all my way now. So, but for the first couple of years, I had to take down and have a teachable spirit.
You have to, right. Wow. So in this profession, you have to be teachable. You have to have a humble spirit. so you can be teachable, and a genuine spirit, because people, you can say whatever you want to say out of your mouth, but people feel your heart, and most of all, they feel your spirit. So, and children know, children and pets, they know when someone is not genuine, So I know you guys have experienced that. Yeah, children and pets, they know all about that. Wow.
So those two things I think are strategic. I think those two things are extremely important
Okay.
when you're interviewing, if you're going to interview a nanny.
Okay. Ladies, I have enjoyed you all, but I still want your parting words to someone who wants to become a nanny. What would you say to a young lady, Jermerica, who wants to share in this profession? It sounds easy. You're going to someone's house and you're doing this, but it's really not. It's really not, because what about those days that you don't feel like going to someone's house? And you know what I'm saying? Oh, let me ask you this. What about you guys off days? Can you take sick days? Do you have vacation days? How does that work?
Yes. So go ahead. Go ahead,
Jermerica. I have.
Is it in your contract? Is it in? Hello?
Who's answering?
Okay. No, I told you to go.
Go ahead. Okay.
Okay. I have 4 weeks. I do not have to take my weeks when they go on vacation. I have 4 weeks vacation. I have 4 personal days. Majority of the time I get all of the when the grandparents come. I'm on a set salary. So it don't like this week. Like this week.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for butting in. I'm sorry for butting in, but Penny said I'm in the wrong business.
Right.
Penny, I'm in the wrong business. They making 6 figures. I'm in the wrong business. What is going on? I'm like you.
I am on that salary, and I'll tell you what. During the pandemic, because my duties increased, they also increased my pay. I got an extra $200 a week because I became Ava's teacher. And so they gave me, I get 4 weeks vacation. I get 4 personal days. And when they're on vacation, I don't have to work. And I get exclusive membership to Medina Golf Course, which is where Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods golf. And I sit up there. I'm a majority of the time the only Black person there. But
wow.
I sit in there like I own it. So, yes.
Wow. Jermerica, how about you?
So I am not as lucky as my aunt is,
Yet.
But I once was not all of what she said, but definitely I think I had 2 weeks of paid vacation off. The family that I'm currently working for, if I don't work, I don't get paid. Because they're both doctors, and one is a VP for a really, really popular insurance company. And so their jobs are really demanding. And so if I can't be there, they have to get someone else there, especially if they're on call for that week. So if I'm on vacation, they have to pay someone else to be there. So I agreed to that, especially during the pandemic, because they were being called in left and right. So I had to be adaptable in that area where it was like, okay, I don't work, I get it, but I am allowed to take up to as many vacations as I want. That wasn't specified to say, oh, you can only take this amount of days. They're really flexible with me. So if I say, hey, in 2 months, I want to take, a 10-day, or not 10-day, I'm sorry, 5-day or 7-day vacation, they will work with me. But it has to be a well of enough
a notice.
Yes. So that way, because they're flexible with me because I'm flexible with them. So we just really value our communication. So that way we're on the same page when it comes to that. But no paid time off.
Wow.
I do get bonuses.
Christmas bonus. Tell me about the Christmas bonus. Christmas bonus.
Yeah. So last year it was $800. And that was the most I've gotten paid for a Christmas bonus, and I enjoyed it like it was nothing else.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I know other nannies who get 1,000 or 2,500 bonuses. It all depends on what family you land with, but any extra, I'm always grateful for.
Yeah, exactly.
And another perk I recently did, actually yesterday. They gave me tickets to a Cubs game. Now, I'm not a baseball girl, I'm more of a basketball and volleyball girl, but we went, my sister and I, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 1914 Club, but that's like the third row. And we're down, like we can have dinner and stuff. So they treated me to that because they're members of that. And it was really nice because we saw a lot of celebrities and the baseball players' wives. We were dining in the same area. And it was just good to be in the same vicinity of those people because we probably would have never crossed paths. And they were really friendly. And I was, trying to network and stuff, but,
that's awesome. So the job does have perks. It has a lot of perks and bonuses. How has it changed you? How has this job changed you, Loralyn? Has it changed you all at all?
It has. It changed me in one particular day. I work in River Forest, and everybody in that area know how much I love Ava. Like when her parents go in the store, they go, "Oh, you're Ava's parents," because they're so used to seeing her with me. And I went in Jewel in River Forest, and I ran into a black lady, and she said to me, it crushed me. She said to me, "Why don't you come out of 1924?" And I said, "Excuse me? Why are you still taking care of the white man's baby?" And it crushed Ava. She said, "Why don't you come out of 1924 and get you a real job?"
Oh.
And I looked at her and said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Ma'am," I said, "I guarantee you, I make more than you, more than likely twice as much as you." I said, "But it's not even about the money." I said, "When you do what you love," I said, "I'm doing what I love. And I could care less about the color of their skin because I have had white babies and I've had black babies and I've had mixed babies. I've worked for people who were in the White House. I worked for John Rogers, who owned Ariel Mutual Funds.
Yeah, I'm familiar with John.
These John Rogers. I was his kid. Nanny, and I tell you, that thing crushed me. But when I walked out of that store, I knew I was doing what I was called to do, and I knew I was doing what I loved to do, because I came under attack because she saw the love that I have for Ava. And at one point, when she said that, I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't show so much affection in public and just keep it in the house. But I'm doing what I love to do.
Exactly.
And so that showed me, black folks like to call white folks racist, but some of us racist too.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are. Yes, we are.
Some of us are racist too.
Yeah. So I know that crushed Ava because she said it in front of Ava.
Well, she cried. And so I had to go home and tell her parents because I knew she was going to tell them. Exactly. And when I told them, then they cried and they start cursing. And so,
oh wow,
it is. Somebody just posted John Rogers is a great person. Let me tell you, he is so wonderful, and he is so down to earth every day. This man ate the same thing for lunch every day: a double cheeseburger, fries, and a Diet Coke from McDonald's.
Yep.
And this man is worth $16 billion.
Yes, he is.
This is what he ate. He is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy.
There's someone else.
And you know what I found out about him? I found this out about him. I did not know he was the grandson of the man who started the riot on Black Wall Street.
Oh,
I found that when we was yeah, I saw it on the news the other day and they said and Mr. John Rogers is the grandson
wow. That is awesome.
of Black
So,
Street.
wow. Well, ladies, this has been awesome. You guys have given us a ton of information. I'm really enjoying this. And I'm so glad for your openness and your honesty in sharing this profession. You know, this profession goes all the way back to 800 BC before Christ.
Yep.
It goes all the way back, you know, and we know that this profession was also in slavery. We know that as well. And some people are stuck right there. But this profession goes before Christ, as you said, with Moses and all of them. So you're doing what you love. This is your passion. I'm so glad that you all are on here. I have enjoyed this. You've taught me a lot. Because honey, I think I'm gonna have to come to your nanny. What is it? Experts, so y'all can teach me so I can get 6 figures. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But it's great. You know, everybody, but you know what? God places us where where we should be. He places us there, you know, and both of you seem like you really love what you're doing in so much that you're expanding it into a business, you know, and you have shared with me, Jermerica, what you're getting ready to launch next year, which is going to touch other people's lives. And, you know, Loralyn, you get ready to open it up in your home. So, you know, it's expanding. It's a Rehoboth moment, really. You know, God has made room for you all and what he has given you, that desire, that passion to do. It's a Rehoboth moment. So we praise God for that. I thank God for that. When you find your niche, when you get in your place, it works. It's an alignment. It's an alignment with what God wants you to do, but you got to get in that place. And a lot of people may not understand it, or they may look at it like, you know, as the lady, why are you doing that? Because that's the alignment where God wants you to be. And many people don't step out in their passion because of other people's opinions or what they're going to say, you know, or what they're going to say. You know, I thank God for both of you all. Thank you all for coming on Motivational Monday. You have blessed us. You have given us tons of information. I pray that there are some women out there that say, hey, I gotta get connected to this. If this is their passion to take care of children in the way that you all have done. Again, to you, Loralyn, happy birthday. Enjoy. And Jermerica, thank you for wearing my favorite color. Huh? I can't hear you.
Oh, can I say one thing? You asked
sure.
If there was one thing you would say to someone who's looking to go into this profession. If I would say one thing, it would be to know your worth. Know your worth. Know what you are preparing to give a family, and never let anyone nickel and dime you, because at the end of the day, you're taking care of their prized possessions. And some people will try to nickel and dime you. Some people may not be able to afford it, but some people will try to nickel and dime you. Know your worth.
Know your worth. Okay.
And she said something really, really key when she said, know what you're bringing to the table. That can go both ways, because somebody, you know, they might gas themselves up, and then when they get a job, they can't meet that expectation that requires. So it could also go both ways with that. When she say know your worth, because if you're gassing yourself up to get that pay, you have to be able to meet that mark as well, because the responsibilities, more money comes with more problems and responsibilities.
Yes, it does.
That too.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, again, thank you all so much for being with us this evening and sharing all of this information. This has really been enjoyable. I have really enjoyed myself, and from the comments that I'm looking at, they have enjoyed themselves. Some people are saying, I need a new business. You know, I need to go into another job. So thank you all again for being on Motivational Mondays. I wish both of you guys success. Loralyn, enjoy your birthday. Enjoy. And are you going to have a retirement party?
Thank you.
Are you going to have a retirement party?
I am going to have a retirement party, and I'm glad you asked that. I know I sent it to you. Ava is actually writing a book and it's called Laura, My Second Mother. And all of the families who I have worked for, they are submitting pages for this book to be printed. And I got pages. And so Ava is going to have the book written, and it's going to be called Laura, My Second Mother.
Wow. That
is so powerful. The impression that you have made on her, and everyone else is sending in also, they contributing to the book. Yeah, I read what you said. It's powerful. It's powerful. Keep doing what you're doing. Bless both of you all. Hey, if it's some more good news, let me know so we can share it. That. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening, both of you all. And thank you guys for being with us tonight on Motivational Monday. Anwar, we're out of here. We got it. This has been a great show again. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that you all got an opportunity to share. So for all of us here at Motivational Mondays, ladies, thank you so much and good night. Enjoy your.
Thank you for having me.